You won't believe how this one simple technique can change how you feel, including the amount of tension and pain that you are feeling in your body. Now I'm talking about softening. In all reality, it's a relaxation. But let's be honest with ourselves. Many of us have an extremely hard time knowing how to relax our body. Well, not anymore. This simple visualization technique will get you on the road to letting go and finding more ease in your body. And I've got to tell you, our clients absolutely love this technique. They love it after a long day where they can just lay in their bed and practice this technique. It helps ease their tension, holding and bracing that they had throughout the day. They can do it with or without any tools. And it starts to allow them to let go of any tension they're holding in their body, to be able to surrender and just overall feel more relaxed. This is softening is our first step that we utilize in any myofascial self-care technique. But I want to be honest with you. Most people forget to do this step. They're so quick to move on to the next steps or get on to what they have to do for the rest of their day. But I'm going to reiterate, this is the most important step that we can do in any self-care routine. So we want to take the time to slow down and be patient. And when we do that, it allows us to start to sink through many, many, many layers of restriction, which is going to lead us down the path of long-term change. If we're skipping past this, we're just addressing things on more of a superficial basis, and you're only going to get a short-term change. So are you ready to learn this simple but effective technique that we call softening? If so, let's get onto the floor and let's get started. Softening is our most important step when it comes to myofascial self-care. As we are softening, it is important to do it for a minimum of 90 to 120 seconds at the beginning of each self-care technique. Then the magic starts to happen and the best results occur. Let's learn how. Today, we will be doing softening while lying on your back, with your knees bent and feet flat on the floor. If you need to add additional support under your neck, it's okay to do that now. Any time that we start softening, it is important that we quiet our mind and start to become present within our bodies. Let's start by taking a couple of slow, diaphragmatic breaths, and with each exhale, letting go of any thoughts or worries within our mind, and allowing your awareness to come into your body fully. So start to bring your awareness towards your feet. And I want you to imagine the tops of your feet sinking and melting towards the floor. Then bring your awareness to your knees and the front of your thighs. Imagine them sinking and melting towards the floor. Next, start to see and feel the hips sinking towards the back of the joints, as if your glutes are sinking into the floor. Bring your awareness to the lower abdomen. With your next exhale, see and feel the lower abdomen melting towards the back of the pelvis. Feeling your pelvis becoming heavier into the floor. Take a moment to notice your mind. Have thoughts started to come in? Maybe you are thinking about what you have to do next. Acknowledge these thoughts and then simply use your breath to bring your awareness back to your body and softening. This is common, especially when we just start out, so be easy on yourself. Just acknowledge the thought and then reconnect back into the technique. Each time, setting your intention to stay present just a second longer. It will become easier to quiet the mind over time. Next, let's bring our awareness to our lower ribs and start to imagine them sinking and melting towards the back of the body, as if you're feeling your entire back becoming heavier and heavier into the floor. Bring your awareness to the front of your chest and breastbone. Start to see and feel them melting towards the floor with each exhale, softening even more, melting even more. And as you bring your awareness up to the front of your throat and face, see and feel the back of your neck and head sinking and melting towards the floor. With each exhale, feeling your entire body becoming softer and softer, heavier and heavier, while completely surrendering into the floor. So let's slowly start to come out of the position and then start to roll over onto one side. When you are ready, you can come up to a seated position. How did that feel for you? Were there areas that you noticed were more difficult to soften? There usually are. And these are the areas that we tend to have much more restriction. We tend to have a lot more holding and bracing, and they tend to need more support. They may need some manual hands-on work from a myofascial release perspective, or more guidance in how to be able to let go of the tension in this area. As you were going through the technique, you heard me cueing you in two different ways. The first one was imagining what's on top sinking towards the back. Or I also used allow yourself to feel and allow the backside of your body getting heavier into the floor. I want you to use whichever one works for you. You can use a combination or just one of them, but usually people will gravitate more towards one style. So go ahead and use that for you, because that's how you're going to get the best results. Now, I love to have you go forward with some action steps. I'm going to encourage you to practice softening on a daily basis, especially when you have had an extremely long day, especially when you are feeling pain and discomfort. You are overwhelmed. This is a great technique to do to be able to just calm the body, especially when combined with breathing work. But I also want to encourage you in an action step that if you're doing myofascial self-care, remember to focus on this as your first step. Don't forget about it and use it for at least 90 seconds. Take yourself through that softening for 90 seconds to get the best results. I want to thank you so much for tuning in, and make sure you stay tuned for more videos.